And this is a truly terrifying, sad suicide that has taken place. Morphed images using AI generating apps of 3 girls in compromising positions, intimate positions, nudes, whatever you want to call it, were shared by an unknown caller called Sahil with a teenager in Faridabad, not very far from where I'm bringing you this broadcast. This 21-year-old was blackmailed with AI-generated pictures of his 3 sisters using AI apps that are available to anyone on the internet. These were used to create nude images of this young man's sisters. They were shared with him over messaging apps, and then he was threatened that they would be made viral if he did not submit money to them. This young man was tortured mentally for days together before he finally decided that he'd had enough and he took his own life. Is this the dark side of artificial intelligence and how easy it is to simply bring someone like him, an educated teenager, to suicide? This happened in Faridabad, which is part of the Delhi National Capital Region, where this college student was driven to suicide after being blackmailed with easily AI-generated pictures of his sisters in intimate positions. Completely fake pictures, but easily generated using AI. They made these nude pictures, they shared it with 21-year-old Rahul Bharti. He was harassed for days. He was given some account numbers or UPI details and told to submit money. He didn't go to the police. He was criminally tortured by these people. One person called Sahil, apparently. They said that if he did not submit money, increasing amounts of money running from a few thousands to a few lakhs, that those pictures, AI-generated pictures of his sisters, would be put on the internet, on social media, and made viral. The criminals have been identified as Sahil and someone called Neeraj Bharti, who may be even a relative of this family. In one particular chat, Sahil demanded 20,000 rupees from young Rahul Bharti. He consumed some tablets and he died in hospital. The father of Rahul Bharti says someone hacked into Rahul's phone. The criminals used AI to create Rahul's nudes along with his sisters. Just imagine that. He was depressed for many days. He didn't eat. He stayed incommunicado from his family. There were many audio and video calls with the criminals, which are now with the police. And as a result of easily AI-generated pictures and targeting of a vulnerable youth, this young man is now dead. I want to try and understand it because the scary aspect of this story from India's national capital region is that these are pictures that could have been generated by pretty much anyone. These are free apps that are available to anyone. And with the right criminal mindset, anyone can be targeted in this manner. Sanjay Sahay is a former ADGP cyber and AI expert. Arouba Kabir is a psychologist. Aashutosh Srivastava is an advocate with the Supreme Court and also a cyber crime expert. Welcome to all of you. Arouba Kabir, I'd like to start with you because even though we are talking about AI-generated images, there is something deeply distressing about a young man, 19 years old, educated, living in what appears to be a stable family, falling prey to something like this and not believing that he had any recourse or protection from the law or from anyone else?
When such incidents happen, the body is flooded with fear, like fear hormones like cortisol or adrenaline. While the mind keeps playing the worst case scenarios, it is not just emotional pain now, it's a physiological overload. And unfortunately, in Indian families, honor and shame are deeply linked to sexuality and women's bodies. And men are supposed to protect that. So for a young man, he felt that he failed to protect his family's dignity. And now we all know that how kids are connected with their families. There's a lot of blame, shame, guilt. So they don't feel safe enough to communicate.
Yeah.
And that is what happened here. He was not able to communicate to anybody. On top of that, who do you trust? You can't trust police, you can't trust legal teams, you can't trust governments. So maybe, he just thought he cannot get the help, and unfortunately he took his life.
The scary part about this, Sanjay Sahay, also is these images were apparently so real. The deepfakes were so real that a sense of shame crept in, and this boy clearly thought that he had no way to face his family with such an embarrassing and horrifying set of images, even though they were AI generated. And I repeatedly say, Sanjay Sahay, that these pictures could easily be created by anyone to target practically anyone.
Yeah, certainly these pictures can be created by anybody to target anybody. But that is in an ecosystem where it goes completely unregulated. The governments don't do anything, the platforms don't do anything, the companies don't do anything. So we have developed AI which does not have guardrails. There is no regulatory mechanism. Even a simple thing like digital arrest, with whatever efforts are being made, I think it is coming to a dead end. So that thus the capability will remain. How do we manage the capability is important, and how do we create that nature of trust amongst the youngsters or anybody who is likely to a victim or who is in the process of becoming a victim. Now this boy, he never had any idea that he can go to the police. The second point is we need help support systems which should be in the police, should be outside of the police as well. So there is absolutely nowhere where this guy can go. So that is the most important thing. The interpersonal relationship, the family is broken. The faith and trust in the police is broken. There is no third-party NGO support system that itself is non-existent.
Yeah.
And this fellow lacks faith in himself also, that this is a AI-created stuff. He is very clear about the fact that there is nothing real about it.
Yeah.
And he is not ready to open up to anybody. If he does not open up with it to anybody, then where will the help come from? So that is the biggest challenge.
Very scary.
And AI is developing like a jungle tree.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, because AI generated images, some of us can tell AI generated from the real thing, but I think in a matter of weeks or months, nobody will be able to tell the difference. No. And it will take special tools to be able to distinguish between what is authentic and real.
Also.
Aashutosh Srivastava, what could young Rahul Bharti have done? Was there some, was there some helpline he could have called? Was there any recourse he could have done? Because clearly he felt like he had no options.
No, see, I think awareness is very, very important among the youngsters and the people of this country regarding the laws related to cyber crimes and deep fakes or maybe artificial intelligence. He could have easily gone and could have registered, an FIR or complaint with the cyber police. He could have said that this is a clear case of extortion. If you see, even in BNS, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, there is a provision under section 308 which punishes such offences for 10 years. And also, now it is abatement of suicide also in a way. Then we have DPDP Act, which was enacted for the for data fiduciaries for fine of up to 250 crores. Also, we have nodal officers under the IT Act, which was amended in 2021.
Yeah.
And the complaint could also be raised to the nodal officers. If any such videos are uploaded, it can be removed by these nodal officers. They are bound to give directions to the intermediaries under which any such pictures, videos are uploaded. So there are many rules and regulations. Also, if you see for AI specifically, the laws are under enforcement, and we know that by first week of November, it has to be approved by the people who have been, given opportunity to give their opinion. So I think there are many rules, regulations, laws already.
No, because the reason why I picked up this story also is because AI is now part of our daily lives. Everyone uses AI apps. Everyone uses ChatGPT. Everyone is experimenting with generating images and generative AI. Arouba, there is a law and order aspect to this, but there is also a sociological aspect to it. This young man, this 19-year-old, must have felt a sense of shame as well. He's saying, kaise explain karunga to my parents? How will I explain such a difficult thing to my parents? Nude images of my sisters and me in a compromising position. He must have thought, how the hell will I explain this stuff to my parents? It's easier to just kill myself.
Absolutely. And I often tell people that when people kill themselves, it is not that they want to die. It is because the pain is so unbearable and the powerlessness, helplessness they feel. They feel this is the only solution left now, die and it gets over. Now, I would also say that yes, we are talking about awareness and all. Sometime back, I had told my own mother, I showed her AI and I told her, if someone ever sends you a naked picture of mine or something, call me. Don't trust it. Don't feel ashamed of it, because we have to educate our parents and people around us. But the awareness is lacking. These youngsters don't know the difference between AI and all. AI itself is not evil, but the kind of technological upgrade has happened, our brains have not upgraded to that level. So for that we need more and more awareness, how much we can talk about it. But if you see, if a person has low self esteem, that means they doubt themselves often, they don't know, they can trust themselves, they have low confidence about themselves, they have poor interpersonal social skills, they don't have good relationship with their parents, they succumb to these things more. They spend more time on social media because they actually are not comfortable with themselves. And that is where the role of education, our educators, teachers, maybe the parents are not educated, but they are sending the child to the school. And that is where teachers need to have some psychological education where they can help them become comfortable with themselves.
Very
Then tomorrow,
true.
if somebody tries to fool them, they understand it.
Earlier, Sanjay Sahay, earlier there was something called photoshopping. And that was not so accessible. It was difficult to Photoshop images. Someone would really need to know the software or go to someone who was an image editing artist to be able to do or pull off something as dangerous as this. Now it's as easy as doing it on your mobile phone with a few, carefully crafted prompts. It is the accessibility of such a thing that has made it so scary. Do you think, some kind of urgent sensitization or intervention is necessary about the dangers of how AI can lead to something like this?
I think there are interventions required end-to-end. It is 360 degrees jungle rust sort of a thing as far as the artificial intelligence is concerned. The psychologist on the panel is talking about awareness. Awareness of cybercrime has been happening. I have seen for the last 25 years. And we have literally reached, and not even today, if we get into the investment scams and digital arrest, which I've been talking about for last 1.5 years. The issue is that the awareness has to be complemented with action. If the awareness is not complemented with action, then it remains that the NGO type of awareness which keeps going. See, awareness has to end, or it has to work simultaneously with huge amount of action. You can ban TikTok, you can ban variety of things because of the data being leaked to China. Why can't we ban a couple of these and make it known to people? The challenge is also with the teachers, with the police, with literally everybody, because they themselves are not aware. So they have to be first taught and make them very, very conversant. This tool has landed in our lap even before we realized what can be done with it. And the people who are on the other side of the law, people who want to misuse, it has become a field day for them. And currently also, we don't have a social media legislation. We don't have an AI legislation, where it is right on our head for quite some time. 2016, I think, first GPT came into existence. Chat GPT came on 30th of November 2022. And the beauty of the whole thing is we don't have AI forensics in place. So this boy goes to the police. What does police do? This is the clear, straight case where you can catch the people. Might be his brother-in-law was involved. So there are leads, but there are at least 3-4 cases which have made international headlines.
Absolutely.
Where the bot has engaged you in a relationship. The bot has engaged you in a relationship.
Correct.
It is high time that the lawmakers, the enforcement, and the civil society, they have to sit down and take care of whatever is happening.
You've given us a huge amount to think about, and it's very, very troubling. And I wonder if the powers that be are going to pay attention to this. This may be an obscure story in a suburb of the national capital. Nobody's even reporting this except me tonight on primetime on NDTV. But it's a story that for some reason hits very close, because it could happen to literally anybody. It could happen to literally anybody, and I want to repeat that over and over again. And that's the reason why you're seeing it here on primetime, here on India Matters. Thank you to all of you for trying to help us make sense of this terrible tragedy in the end of Rahul Bharti. We will continue to report on what happens next in the investigation. Thank you.
Thank you.